Am I live? I hope you guys can hear me. What I want to talk about is the excessive empathizing for potential suspects. Now, whenever someone is injured or dies, the victim, usually there's an outcry, outpouring for the victim. But what I'm seeing in the Nolan Wells case is the excessive, and I'm just talking about black folks. White folks, stand down right now. I'm You're doing what you're supposed to. When people look like you, when you see yourselves in people, you do what you're supposed to. You empathize with them. But my concern is black folks. You know, I've never seen so much empathy for potential suspects and not the same empathy for a grieving mother and a dead 18-year-old. Who's a victim of something. There's no sadness. And I'm just talking about the folks who are married to Caucasian people who have YouTube channels. I'm talking about those black conservatives that really want Talking Point USA attention. They've been begging for Erica Kirk's attention since Charlie Kirk has passed. And it's this over empathizing. It's problematic to me. And I realize the damage that racism, the psychological damage that these black folks cannot even empathize with a grieving mother and a young man who's no longer here. It's egregious, and I want to ignore it. I have to start subscribing to people because it is so disgusting on so many levels. It's like it's so hard for them to say, but when black folks does something, I didn't see that empathizing for Carmela Anthony. Someone who was clearly bullied. Clearly bullied. Your parents have done a poor job in building your self-esteem. Your parents did a poor job when you're begging white folks to love you. If you would just be yourself. See, let me tell you something. They're looking at you and they're looking at you cross-eyed. Because they're like, if you do that to people that look like you, if you can't see the inequities, if you can't see the concern with the behavior of people after the fact. They're looking at you and know you're not a trustworthy person. They know you must hate yourself. So don't think you will ever win their respect. Because they know they darn sure wouldn't trust you because you don't look like them. And if they're watching how you cover this case, they're watching you. I'm just shocked. When I tell you flabbergasted, I'm shocked. You have more white people have more empathy for Nolan Wells than these black content creators, conservative content creators who have mixed children and who married to Caucasian. Y'all need to take a good look in the mirror. You better hope that you never, ever will need Ben Crump services. You better hope that your child, while they're hanging out with their white Caucasian friends and Caucasian cousins, that they don't end up like Nolan Wells. Even if it was an accident, even what the behavior afterwards is concerning on so many levels. I don't care what the skin color is. And y'all all know that if the shoe was on the other foot, there would have been some arrest. We're watching what happens when affluent people, children, get in trouble. This is what they do. Because it's more important to save face than to get to the bottom line. See, a good parent would have got all those kids together and asked what happened. What happened? But to lawyer up a day after is problematic. It's very problematic. And we got to teach people to be accountable for their behavior. And they know that there's going to be a problem. Because if in fact there were drugs, they had to get it from somewhere. They're teenagers. So now you're going to unravel secrets that are not going to paint people in a positive light. But the caping is excessive. The caping, can you just admit to how they moved afterwards? Or are you guys scared that you're going to be sued? Because now you got people with connections and you got people with money. I'd rather you not cover it than to sit there and not, even from an objective standpoint, how these people moved after the fact is very disturbing. I'm done.